Good evening, ladies and gents. It's your boy Twilight here, coming at you live from the NERB GP for the season finale of Season 2 of the GT Champions. I am going to be streaming GTC-3. That is our, kind of like our lower division in a sense, but there are still some very, very fast drivers in this division. And the racing that I have seen has been phenomenal. So, what better way to go through this race here than to stream it live on the RWB Racing account on Facebook, and it will be up on YouTube as well. So, let's get the party started. So, right now, I do want to take a minute here. We are sponsored by Detailing Group. Graphics have been designed by the wonderful folks at High Pre, specifically Pixteca. He has done a fantastic job of getting all these graphics in, getting in all the text. I mean, this is some clean looking stuff here. So, let's get on to the previous results here. And if you guys are watching here, come on into the chat, say hi. I've got it set up on my phone here, that way I can reply. But here is the results of last week's race at Suzuka Quad Moto. Taking the win with Igorski second, G-Man fourth. Those will line up your top three there. Egon, Little Mac, Ghost Terror, Astro, Icerwalks, Marchy Boy will round up from fourth to ninth. So, with that being said, let's go to the current point standing here. Let's see where we're at. RWB Little Mac has got a comfortable gap between himself and Super Max. He is sitting at 126 points. Last I checked here, actually, you know what, let me check. Yes, so he has pretty much clinched the championship at this point. Now, Super Max, Egon, they're separated by about 11 points. So that's going to be interesting to see. Now, looking here, I think really the big thing to watch is a battle for 7th and 8th between Marchy Boy and Mobile Edge. They're separated by one single point. Also, I do want to mention 4 through 6 is separated by about 19 points, just from 4th to 6th place. Now, the battle between 4th and 5th, that's separated by 1 point, so that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. So, with that being said, let's take a look at the screen here. And we've got some people out here just kind of chilling or maybe practicing. Oops. Sorry, folks, this is kind of variable display ball. Yep, we'll do that. So right now we have G-Man out practicing, warming up, as well as Egon, Quad Moto. I'm just going to call you Quad. Love the livery, by the way. The crash test dummy, the crash test vehicle. Sweet looking design, dude. Ghost Terror out warming up, as well as Walk. And Walk's got some kind of design there. I'm curious to see what it looks like. Ooh, different. Different, but I love it. Benjo, he's got the crash test vehicle as well, Little Mac, sporting a lovely green bug. G-Man, he's got a pretty cool looking design there, as well as Igorski. Fastest lap so far is 1 minute 56 seconds. I imagine that's going to go down once everybody starts racing. So, yeah, it's going to get good, guys. It's going to be an interesting race. I can't wait to see how it's going to pan out here. So, I'm going to leave you guys with some footage here. And we'll be right back once the race begins. approximately 2 minutes away from starting the race here. So once it hits 8:30, that is when we're going to start. Now, I'll go over the rules real quick. You are allowed 2 compounds. You're allowed a set of soft tires and a set of mediums. Now, damage will be heavy, so clean driving is really emphasized in this series. And you are only allowed to pit once. That is between the 50-minute mark countdown to the 40-minute. You will see it. I will put it up here. No, it's not going to let me do it. There it is. The countdown will be in this little section here. It'll say time remaining. Once that hits 50 minutes, pit lane is open. You could pit to refuel, to change your tires, to fix damage. Well, damage you can fix at any time. Once 40 minutes hits, that is when... Whoop, this thing's being a little bit weird. Why is it? There we go. So, here we are. Get ready to start. But like I said, that's just kind of like your basic rules in this series. So just waiting on the green light here. And it's not gonna let me... What's it gonna do? Looks like we might be having some technical difficulties there. Oh, there it goes. And they're off. Your Aussie Quad Moto getting a really good start there in the first place. Somebody just went off. Not sure who it was. Egon going off. Wax was going off. Quad Moto, though, just takes full advantage of the situation. He is in first place ahead of Ghost Terror by about 0.8 of a second. Ghost Terror, though, is going to be chasing him down here, and we're only in the first lap, but look at all this action we have going on here. Igorski getting out wide into the grass. Can he control it? Yep, sure is. Right now, everybody has thinned out relatively quickly. Also, Quad Moto, he is just pulling away from the competition here. Ghost Terror trying to hang on, trying to hopefully get into his draft, allowing him to catch up. And am I getting any kind of audio here? Yep, okay, plenty of audio. Good. G-Man running in third, Little Mac fourth, Benjo fifth, hot on Little Mac's tail, Watt sixth, Egon seventh, Marching Boy eighth, Igorski ninth. So Quad Moto, he has currently got about a 1.2 second gap there to Ghost Terror. Ghost Terror, meanwhile, is going to have someone else to worry about here, and that's going to be G-Man. G-Man is about 0.7 of a second back for Ghost Terror. It is still enough of a gap to allow G-Man to catch Ghost Terror's draft. Let's see here. Everybody has now started to thin out pretty well. Marching Boy trying to get a run on Benjo here. Let's hop on here with Benjo, see how all this is going, because now it's turned into a three-way battle for 7th place. Egon is ahead of Benjo by about 1.3 seconds. And what's this? Marchie Boy going to the inside, trying to outbrake Benjo. Is it gonna work? It did. What a move by Marchie Boy to move up into 7th. So hot three-way battle here. Now we have a two-way battle for 5th between Egon and Walk. And look at this, bumper to bumper. They are not having it today. And we'll look at the front here. G-Man, Ghost Terror are battling out here for 2nd place. I'm hopped I'm riding along with Ghost Terror here. G-Man gonna take the inside, and it doesn't work. But the one thing he is doing, he is letting Ghost Terror know, hey, I'm at your front door, or I'm at your back bumper, I should say, and I'm getting ready to pass you. So, looking at it here, I'm trying to figure out what Ghost Terror's trying to do. Ghost Terror running awfully wide on that turn. Normally you want to keep it tight, hit that apex, and that may have just cost him second place. Let's see here. So G-Man has now taken second place, and this spot here is not really a spot that you want to try and overtake unless it's like the last lap, last minute. And oh my, okay, Little Mac is now on Ghost Terror's rear bumper. And then Walk is getting stuck by not only Egon, but Igorski and Marchie Boy. Benjo, meanwhile, has moved to the back there. I'm not sure exactly what all had happened. But we've got a race here, boys. Or ladies and gents, I should say. Because Walk is fighting hard to stay in 5th place. Now the interesting thing is, I don't know what kind of tires these folks have started the race with. So it could be a case of maybe they all started on mediums. Some of them may have started on softs, and we don't know. Speaking of which, let's check here with Osquado, or Osquadmoto. He is now about 3.5 seconds ahead of G-Man. G-Man, meanwhile, is about 0.7 of a second ahead of Little Mac. And Little Mac is ahead of Ghost Terror by about 1.2 seconds. Ghost Terror getting a 1 second penalty. Now he does have to burn that before this lap is up. So I'm curious to see how he's gonna serve that 1 second penalty. Meanwhile, Walk, Egon, side by side as we're riding along here. Heading into the final stretch before the very sharp chicane. Egon getting a really good run on Walk. He's gonna try to take the inside line. Who is gonna outbrake who? Let's take a look here at Egon just slices through those turns like a hot knife through butter. That is awesome. And that allowed Igorski to get ahead of Walk. So now Igorski is going to be in 6th, Walk 7th, Marchie Boy 8th. And something must have happened to him because he just lost every bit about a second, maybe a second and a half. But meanwhile, now we have a really good battle here between G-Man and Little Mac. And I've raced with Little Mac many times. This dude is quick. He is quick, he is clean. Really good guy to race with. Matter of fact, all these people are great to race with. What am I saying? But let's go into cockpit view here of Little Mac. Let's see what all he is. See what kind of tricks he has up his sleeve. So G-Man went a little bit on the outside there at the carousel. Not going to hurt him too much. Still about 0.4 of a second ahead of Little Mac. But right now the race is all... Oh, okay. Never mind. Quad has a 0.5 second penalty that he needs to burn off before this lap is done. I imagine he's gonna probably bleed it off at this chicane. So let's see what happens here. No, it's not gonna bleed off. That's interesting. But he's still about 2.7 seconds ahead. There he goes. He's gonna bleed it off now. So this race is going to get a lot more interesting. Because of that penalty, that has cost Quad every bit a second to a second and a half, maybe 2 seconds for that matter. And now he's got G-Man and Little Mac on his tail. Checking at the back of the field here, Egon, he is kind of in his own little world at the moment. Ghost Terror, Igorski, Walk, Marchie Boy, they all have their things going. Benjo looks like he's not having a really good time racing here. Might have made a couple mistakes, I'm not sure. But check out this three-way battle. This is good here because G-Man is separated by 0.8 of a second. And he's also ahead of Little Mac by about 0.9 of a second. But anything can happen in the 1 hour and 21 minutes that we have left of this race. So going around the carousel, I'm not seeing a whole lot of things going on. Egon hit with about a 0.3 of a second penalty. Have to bleed that off. That'll allow Ghost Terror and everyone else to catch up to him. Excuse me, fairly quick. So yeah, we're only 10 minutes in. We have experienced a lot of action with this race. And look at that, Little Mac right on G-Man's tail. What is Little Mac going to do? Certainly not going to try and cut through the chicane there, that's for sure. Very smart move on Little Mac's part. Now, if he can get a run on this last turn here, which can he? Well, kind of did. But he's right on G-Man's tail. So he's going to dive to the inside. Is he going to try and outbrake G-Man? And sure looks like it. Little Mac is going to take second place. Now, the only thing separated between Little Mac at first is going to be that dude that has been leading the race the whole time, Quad Moto. So we'll be seeing a battle here very shortly. Let's check with the rest of the field here. Egon's still in his world, sitting at a very comfortable 4th position. Meanwhile, Ghost Terror, he's currently, I'd imagine he's terrified, because he's got Walk, who just got a 0.5 second penalty. And then you got Marchie Boy, and then Igorski trying to keep up with the pack there. And then Benjo. So let's cut back to first place here. Quadmoto, he's still about 0.7 of a second ahead of Little Mac. And Ghost Terror, he seems to kind of... It looks like he's opened up the gap there to about a second. But this right here is what we need to watch. Because Little Mac is right on Quad's tail. He's not going to try and pass through that chicane, which is good. Maybe, like I say, he could get a run at this last turn, allowing him to pass Quad. But let's take a gander here. What's he going to do? Okay, so he has now set the fastest lap. He is slowly gaining on Quad. He's about 0.5 of a second back from him. Not enough time to really outbrake or try to outmaneuver Quad to gain that first position. And I do see Oso was watching there. What's going on, Oso Fast? Oh, so now we have a battle for 6 here between Walk and Igorski. And I'm going to run along with Walk here, sitting in 7th place. Trying to catch up to Igorski. I'm looking at the times here. They're kind of going back and forth, playing a little bit of a tug of war, perhaps. Let's look what... Okay. And I'm back. That's good. My headset tends to die like every 30 minutes or so. But if you've been watching the action here, Igorski has opened up that gap, which is good. He is now catching up to Marchie Boy. Egon's still just kind of doing his own thing. You know, 5.5 seconds back for third, about 8 seconds ahead of fifth. But Little Mac lost a little bit of time there to Quad. Probably about 0.2 of a second is what it looks like. Quad, meanwhile, setting the fastest lap of the race. And you know, I'm looking at their times here. They're actually pretty comparable to each other. I think Little Mac just has a slight edge over Quad. But they are evenly matched, which will make for some really fun racing. G-Man, Egon, Marchie, Gorski, Watt, Ghost Terror, Benjo, rounding out your 9. Ooh, Quad, his gap has now dropped down to about 0.5 of a second, so Little Mac is charging, wanting that first position. And I'm getting a little bit of something there. Kind of looked like Quad was lagging for a sec. Little Mac currently on the fastest lap so far. We'll see how that pans out at the end of this lap. But he had just got one heck of a run on Quad. And that's going to leave, you know, pretty interesting outcome here coming up to this chicane. He's got the draft. He's about 0.3 of a second back. What's he gonna do? He's too far ahead of... He's too far behind Quad there to really make any kind of move. But you know what? He is sticking with Quad here. Which is... Let's see. What's he gonna set? Okay, 158.1. Still a very consistent time. But look at that. Little Mac all over Quad trying to get past him. Or he might be trying to play mind games with him. I mean, you never know. Maybe see if he could force Quad into making a mistake and taking full advantage of it. Let's check with the others here while they're still battling. G-Man in third, Egon fourth. Everybody has widened out. So this is really your big battle that we have going on here, is between Quad and Little Mac. And this is going to make for some great racing. So Little Mac has got the draft. He's 0.2 of a second behind Quad. What's he going to do? Is he going to try and outbreak him in the carousel? He is, and Quad, ooh, almost went into the sand. So Little Mac has now taken first with about a 0.5 second gap to Quad. With 1 hour and 12 minutes to go. Quad getting into the sand, into the barrier. Oh no. That is something that you don't want to see. Meanwhile, that allows Egon and G-Man to move into third and second respectively. Quad, I imagine he's going to have quite a bit of damage. He is going to have to probably pit and get it repaired. So right now that leaves Little Mac with about a 4-second gap to G-Man. G-Man, meanwhile, has about a 5.6 second 5.6-second gap to Egon. And Quad has now dropped even farther down. So Marchie Boy's going to be 4th. Igorski's going to be 5th. Quad is going to have to pit. Let's take a look here. See how long this pit stop's going to set him back. Waiting for them to come into the pit. Or, yeah, for Quad to come into the pit here. That pit stop is now going to put him all the way back into 7th place. So, Little Mac has now opened up the gap even farther. He's about 4.1, about 4 seconds ahead of G-Man. G-Man, meanwhile, he's about 5.3, 5.4 ahead of Egon. Egon's still in his own little world. Marchie Boy and Igorski are now battling it out for 4th position. So let's keep an eye on them and see how this battle's going to pan out. So going through the Schumacher S, Marchie Boy, Igorski. Igorski's got a little bit of a run, it's not much. But Igorski going wide, that's going to hurt him in his pursuit to catch Marchie Boy. So looking at it here, Marchie, Igorski, what's Igorski going to do? He's got the draft to Marchie Boy. So, going through the chicane, looks like, well, it's too early to judge. It looks like they went through that chicane about the same pace as each other. But Igorski is still hanging on. He's still got that draft, especially going down this front stretch here. He's not going to have enough of a chance to really try to outbreak Marchie Boy. But Igorski going a little bit wide there, and that'll hurt him as well. So Egon, G-Man, Little Mac. Little Mac in his own little world, sitting about 4 seconds ahead of G-Man. So that gap looks like it's not really, he's not opening the gap up, nor is he losing time. So he's just kind of running the same pace there, trying to maintain, his tire wear, his fuel. Wants to make sure he's got enough fuel until the countdown, or until pit lane opens, I should say, which will be in the next, we're at 110, 50, 20, about 18 minutes. Looking at it here, Oss is trying to claw his way back up to the top where he had started and led, the majority of the time up until this point. Igorski, meanwhile, got a great run off of that turn to catch Marchie Boy. It was every bit of 1.1 second gap. It has now went down to about a 0.6 of a second. Go through the chicane, and whoa, something must have happened to Marchie Boy. Made a very crucial mistake. What's Igorski gonna do? He's gonna take the inside, and he is gonna pass Marchie Boy for 4th position. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Marchie Boy is right on Igorski's tail. So what is he gonna do? Is Igorski gonna block the inside? Or is Marchie Boy going to try and take the inside lane and maybe outbreak him? Looks like he's not going to go on full attack just yet. But Igorski's still sitting in 4th position. And everyone else has been spread out. Meanwhile, Little Mac is now about 5.1 seconds ahead of G-Man. G-Man is now a little over 5 seconds ahead of Egon. And yeah, this battle here is really starting to heat up. It's going to be interesting to see how this is going to pan out because they have just been going back and forth, back and forth. Just, it's been a dogfight for fourth position. Going through the carousel, that's all good. Now let's ride along with Marchie Boy here. We'll go in the cockpit view. See what's going through Marchie Boy's head as he is trying to catch Igorski. I will be back in just a couple minutes here. And we're back with about an hour and 4 minutes left to go in the race. And as you guys could tell in the stream there, it looked like Igorski made a very crucial mistake going wide, coming into that second sector, allowing Marchie Boy to get past. Marchie Boy has now got about a second gap there to Igorski. So he's got a pretty good cushion there. Igorski clearly out of his draft. Meanwhile, it looks like Egon is starting to catch up to G-Man. The gap there was every bit about 5 seconds between G-Man and Egon. It is now down to about 2.3 seconds. Little Mac has now opened up the gap even more. He's about 8.5 seconds ahead of G-Man. So G-Man must have made a mistake that we had missed during the race. Not exactly sure what had happened. But going through, Marchie Boy is losing a little bit of time there to Igorski. Igorski is now within that draft. And the draft, we consider it anywhere from being to the rear bumper to about 0.75, about 3/4 of a second back. So like right now, Igorski's about 0.8 of a second back from Marchie Boy. He is out of that draft. Now he's about, wow, it's fluctuating. I wonder what their times are looking like too, because that's going to be interesting to see as well. So 158s and 159s is what Igorski is running. And about 158s and 159s. So they are evenly matched. Igorski clearly getting a better run there. And it's now a Marchie Boy's tail. Coming into one of the faster sections of the track. He's clearly got the draft there to Marchie Boy. Now what's gonna happen? I don't wouldn't want to imagine that he's going to try it past Marchie Boy. And heading into the front straight. Alrighty, and I am back. Just that lovely headset. Just likes to randomly die for some reason, not sure why. Anybody that's watching, come say hi. Like I said, I've got my chat here up. As you can tell by my phone going off. I got the chat on. Let's talk. You know, I got an hour left here of the race. Or hour, 1 minute, I should say. Check this out. They are just dogfighting. And speaking of which, I want to check something here. G-Man and Egon, they're still separated by about 2.5 seconds roughly. I did see someone look like they reset. That would be Ghost Hair. So something has happened to Ghost Hair. I'm not sure what it is. Definitely get damage done. Must have made a very crucial mistake. But as of now, the race is all Little Mac setting not only the fastest lap, he is in first place by about 9 seconds. G-Man, Egon, second and third. Marchie Boy, fourth, for now. With Igorski, sixth, for now as well. Walk, Quad, Benjo, Terror. Terror spinning out. And is going to pull over and let lap traffic go by. And he is, let's see, is he going back out? Yep. Going out to race. Yeah, this first turn here, that's a doozy. As you can tell by Marchie Boy, they're getting a little bit loose. Igorski trying to take advantage of the situation, about 0.4 of a second back from Marchie. And we're going to go through into the second sector. And let's run along the back bumper here on Marchie Boy. Let's watch Igorski. Igorski clearly not getting any kind of run there coming out of those two corners. Going around the carousel into the Schumacher S. Marchie Boy just getting a really good run off of that turn. He's now every bit about 0.9 of a second ahead of Igorski. That is going down real quick. So 0.5 up to 0.7, down to 0.6, spinning, colliding with Igorski. Oh no. Or wait, no, Igorski is still in it. He is now past Marchie Boy for 4th position. I could have swore Igorski got caught up in that. I'm not... Wow. Wow. So I imagine Marchie Boy is going to have some damage here. It's going to have to pit. Let's take a look. And no, must have got really lucky there. So he's still in the race. So Igorski's going to be about 25 seconds behind Egon, but, you know, 3.5 seconds ahead of Walk. And I like that. Drive nice, you may be on YouTube. It's easy to look like a DH, and I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to tell people what that means. Y'all can figure it out yourself. And with the awesome end racism sticker there on the front bumper. That is the one thing about GT Champions. Anybody and everybody could race. So Little Mac, 10.5 seconds ahead of G-Man. And meanwhile, G-Man... Wow, that gap is closed. Okay, so between Egon and G-Man, there's now a 1.3, 1.2 second gap and dropping. So we're going to have a battle for second place set up here pretty shortly. Going through the chicane into the last turn here. See if Egon can get a good run off of this last turn onto the front stretch. And looks like he is. So he's going to be within that slipstream here in just a sec. Well, he is now. So it's now 0.6 of a second back from G-Man. And outbreaks him just enough to really close that gap to about 4 to 0.5 of a second. So now we've got a battle for second. And Egon getting a little bit loose there coming out of that turn. And let's see, let's look. So G-Man, from what I'm seeing here, G-Man has got that first half of the track down pat. While Egon looks to maybe have an edge over G-Man, but let's look, because that gap to G-Man has opened up, or it did open up. It was as big as about 1.1 second, so went down to just over 0.9 of a second here heading into the chicane. Let's see how they go through. So they both go through fairly well. Looks like Egon has a slight advantage because that gap has now dropped down to about 0.6, up back to 0.9. And it's just all over the place. Now, Egon is right on his bumper. Let's ride along with Egon here. See what's going to happen. He's going to try and overtake him on the inside, maybe outbrake him. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Ooh, they collide. Trade paint. Egon taking second position. Meanwhile, Little Mac still sitting very comfortably in first with about a 13-second gap. But this is where the fun begins. And let's take a quick check on Igorski. Okay, so no one's really bothered him. We'll go down through the field here. Marchie Boy 5th, Walk 6th. There's going to be a battle setting up here very shortly between those two. Yep, but this is the main attraction. The battle for second place. Egon G-Man, 0.3 of a second separates them. G-Man getting a way better run off of that carousel than Egon, going into the Schumacher S. And let's look here. What's gonna happen? And that gap's gonna open up, okay. Or no, start to close. G-Man in Egon's draft, heading into these very short chicanes. Who is gonna come out on top? Egon going through fairly well as G-Man, so that's good stuff. It's exactly what you want to see. folks, if you're just joining us here, we are almost at the halfway mark of the race. So far, Little Mac leading. All Squad Motor was leading the first half until his left side, maybe it's his left front tire, hit the sand, caused him to smack the barrier pretty hard. He just dropped down to 7th. So Little Mac has been leading for most of the race here, 13-second gap. As of now, we are watching an intense battle here between Egon and G-Man. The times have just been changing. It has been as little as 0.2 of a second gap, all the way to about a 1.2 second gap. And it's just turned into an absolute dogfight. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think they are separated by about a point. Let's just take a quick look here at the current point standing. Egon, G-Man, separated by about 6 points. But G-Man right now has the edge over Igorski. Igorski is 1 point behind G-Man for 4th. So heading back here, Egon's still in 2nd position, about 1.3 seconds ahead of G-Man. Now let's take a look at Igorski, see what the gap is. 26 seconds. That's going to be interesting. So right now, G-Man is holding that spot for 4th with, 26-second gap ahead of Igorski. But we still have 50 minutes left in the race, so anything's possible. Now here's a little segment I like to do here whenever I stream the races. It's called Let's Get Into Someone's Head and see what they're thinking, what their actions are when they're racing. So I want to get with the race leader here, and let's just do a lap with him and, enjoy the inputs and see what's going on in the dude's head. Alright, so as you can tell here, people are making their pit stops. And one thing that's going to worry me, though, is I've seen people pit at the 49-minute mark, the 48-minute mark, with about 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6% of fuel left. And that was less than half of the race. So I seen Igorski is now pitting. That moves All's quad into 4th position. He hasn't pitted just yet. Neither has G-Man. I think Egon has went into pit. Yep. And right now Igorski's sitting in 5th. Marchie Boy 6th. Walks 7th. Benjo 8th. Ghost Terror 9th. Let's see what Little Mac's gonna do here. He is not gonna. Neither G-Man or Little Mac have gone to pit just yet. Let's see if G-Man's gonna pit. He is. Okay, so he's gonna take his stop. Benjo has just pitted. He was on mediums. Let's see what kind of tires G-Man was on. He's on mediums as well. Now, I did see, I believe it's Marchie Boy that was in softs the first stint. He's going to have to go to medium and run those tires. So G-Man at 1% of fuel just made it, just barely made it into the pit road. Meanwhile, Egon going through the last turn here onto the front stretch, and looks like it's going to be passing G-Man for 2nd. Little Mac, though, got a 56-second lead over Egon. And look at that. G-Man comes out. He's probably going to be about a few seconds back from Egon. Let's look. Every bit about 6.7 seconds behind Egon. Little Mac here, I imagine he's going to be pitting after this lap, which is a perfect medium. Igorski is now moving back into 4th position. Quad is pitting here at the moment. He was on mediums with about 9% of fuel left, which is, which is good because he's right past that halfway point of the race. Little Mac gonna go around once more. He's got until the 40-minute mark. As you can tell by the screen on the right-hand side where it says time remaining, 44 minutes, 40 seconds. And I wonder if any battles have come up. Yep, Marchie Boy and Walk. Now, if I remember correctly, Marchie Boy is on the mediums. Walk is now on the soft. So Walk is going to clearly have an advantage over Marchie Boy with those softer tires, with the better grip. And yeah, that's going to allow Walk to pass Marchie Boy, and he's now starting to widen the gap there. Almost 0.8 of a second ahead of Marchie Boy. Marchie Boy is in that draft. Coming into the carousel here. Should have a good run. Let's take a look here. Yep, 0.8, 0.9. Let's make it a second, shall we? Yep, there it is. 1 second gap. G-Man, Egon, Little Mac still hasn't pit. Ghost Terror has kind of had a terrifying race, as well as Benjo and Quad. Quad's only about 5 seconds back from Archie Boy, though. So that's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. But let's go to our race leader here, because I'm curious to see if he's going to pit this round or if he's going to wait one more lap. So let's take a look here. Heading into the chicane. 58-second gap. Plenty of time to pit, fuel up, change tires, what have you. And he is going to pit. See what kind of tires he was on this round. Medium. Okay, so he'll be changing to soft. Did a really good job conserving his fuel as well. With about 16% of fuel left. He could have probably won about maybe 3 or 4 more laps before he really had to pit. But with that time remaining there that you see, the 42-minute mark there, once it hits 40, pit lane is closed. So Egon coming through to the chicane. I wonder if he's going to be catching up to Little Mac here. Let's take a look. Little Mac out of the pits. Nope, does not have a chance. So Little Mac will be staying in first position. Meanwhile, Walk has now opened up the gap there to about 2.5 seconds ahead of Marchie Boy. Gorski, G-Man. Yep, Little Mac still with a good 23-24 second gap to Egon. And then Egon is about 6.3 seconds ahead of G-Man, just kind of running his own race at the moment. Wants to make sure he gets that podium position, since we're about 41.5 minutes left of the race. And Walk is going into pit. What's going on here? Must have hit some damage, or must have got some damage, maybe hitting a barrier, or what have you. Let's see what's going down in pit lane. Fuel. That's interesting. I guess what's going through Walk's head is maybe they can get, full tank of gas. They can run hard now until the very end. But that just cost him 5th position. Quad is now about 2.5 seconds back from Marchie Boy. And Marchie Boy's sitting in a very nice 5th position. Igorski in his own little world. 22 seconds back from G-Man, but about 20 seconds ahead of Marchie Boy. Whew. Alright. Tell you what, it is. I forgot how hard it was to commentate an 1.5-hour race alone. Something else, let me tell you. Little Mac, Egon, G-Man, Igorski, Marchie Boy and Quad, they're teammates. They are with the ICE group. I think it stands for Intercontinental Esports Racing. It's a team that has members from all over the world. And now we're about to see the battle of teammates between Marchie Boy and Quad. And Marchie Boy being on the medium tires. I think Quad is on the softs now, if I'm not mistaken. So Quad is quickly gaining on Marchie Boy here. The gap is now at 0.5 of a second, which is interesting. So let's run along with Quad here. Let's see what's going to happen. Quad getting a really good run here off of Marchie Boy. And is going to try to outbrake Marchie Boy. He does, gets into 5th position. What a clean move on Quad's part. Now, I don't know if that was team orders, but whatever it was, great pass. Clean pass. So that's always good to see. And yeah, everybody in their own little world here. And I will be right back here since there's really no battles to look at the moment. So I'll be right back, folks. Alright, and we're back here. Little Mac just setting the fastest lap of the race again at a 156.1. I have a feeling we're probably going to be seeing a 155 out of Little Mac before the race is done here. Egon, he has opened up the gap even more to G-Man, sitting at a nice 13 seconds. G-Man in his own little world at the moment. Still sitting in podium position. And then Igorski, turn that down there. Igorski running 4th, Quad 5th, Marchy Boy 6th, Walk 7th, Benjo 8th, Ghost Terror 9th. So, taking a look here, still not much going on. It's spaced out pretty well. I mean, there's a little bit of something going on there. Look to be lap traffic. That might be Benjo. It is Benjo. Still Benjo running his own little race there. Trying to set a good time. You know, get every bit of practice or racing in that he can. Perfectly understandable. And you know, the interesting thing that I noticed here is a good chunk of our racers here are from the land down under. Benjo, Walk, Marchy, and Quad. All 4 from Australia. And then we have Egon and Ghost Terror, both from Canada. And then the rest of our drivers. As I was saying before, the rest of our drivers are from the good old US of A. And I do know that Egon, he is with Red, White, and Blue Racing. And just to give everybody a little bit of a background here, RWB started back in 2019 as a very small group. Got maybe 3 or 4 racers in a lobby at a time, and RWB has grown substantially to now hosting the excuse me, to now presenting the GT champions, hosting some of the fastest drivers in the world. If you do want to see some of the fastest drivers, check out GTC-1. We have some big names filling in the lobbies. From the likes of Bipolar to RR Spec 1, who's with Rockefeller Racing, to Ace Rio, which I know a little bit ago he had placed 3rd in a event sponsored by Michelin Tire, racing against some of the fastest guys in the world. So check those out, and also check out GTC-2. Some really fast guys are in there. I know my rival Magic Man is in there. I believe he may have clinched GTC-2, and if that's the case, congratulations. And we got the likes of Venom and a whole bunch of RWB racers are in both GTC-1, 2, and 3. So, RWB, heck of a group to be in. I've been with them since the beginning. Haven't raced a lot due to life and the fact that they just need to go ahead and release GTC, or Gran Turismo 7. And I bet you once that releases, I'll be back and angrier than ever. Especially since they're bringing back some old GT1 Le Mans cars. And I'm really hoping that they've got like the Toyota TS020, the McLaren F1, not the one that's in this game, the one with the, I don't know what you would call that in the rear end of the McLaren, like a fishtail. But either way, I imagine that's going to be an awesome game once it releases, especially on the PS5, if you're one of the lucky few that actually got a PS5. But nevertheless, PS4, PS5, whatever, I'm sure it'll be a great game. and cannot wait until March when it releases. So going through the line here, everybody's still in their own little world. And with 28 minutes remaining, it is all Little Mac with just about a 30-second lead on Egon. Egon's still about 12-13 seconds ahead of G-Man. That's going to round out your top three. And still not a lot going on. Tis be interesting. This whole field is kind of stretched out, thin. So yeah, Little Mac, 30-second lead. Just going through. Yeah, just not a lot going on, not much to really talk about here in this race. I know it's action-packed in the beginning, but... Oh, thank God. Okay, so we do have a battle here. Walk and Marchie Boy. Marchie Boy has regained 6th position ahead of Walk. So Walk must have made a pretty detrimental mistake here. And Oz has rebounded pretty nicely. I mean, was leading the first 20 minutes of the race, 15-20 minutes. Had that incident where he had spun and hit the barrier, had to go into pit lane to repair, his Beetle. So I just destroyed everything on my desk. So yeah, rebounded nicely into 5th position. But meanwhile, Marchie Boy and Walk battling out here for 6th position. What is gonna happen? Walk gonna go to the inside, heading into the first turn. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna outbrake Marchie Boy? Looks like he is. Clean overtake. So Walk now moves into 6th position ahead of Marchie Boy. Marchie Boy is gonna drop down into 7th. And I imagine to the people that is currently watching this stream here and is maybe playing a game of Punch Buggy, your arms might be sore. And that's just a little game from what I remember. Me and my siblings, we would play this game called Punch Buggy. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of it also. If you see like a Volkswagen Beetle, you say Punch Buggy, you punch them right in the arm. Or smack them or whatever. So rest in peace to everybody's arms if you're watching this and you're playing a game of Punch Buggy. Let's see. 34, 35 seconds ahead of Egon. Gap is slowly starting to close between Egon and G-Man. It was 13 seconds about a few laps ago. Has went down to about 11.5. And the gap to Walking Marchie Boy now about 3 seconds. Alrighty. Well, I will be right back in just a sec here. Still not much to talk about though. I mean, Little Mac having about a 44-second gap there at Egon. Looks like he's maybe going to be passing Walk there, or lapping him, I should say. And look at that, Little Mac setting a 155.6. What lap was that done at? That was just done about 4 laps ago. I knew we were going to hit that 155 mark by the end of the race. With the pace that Little Mac is going, it's his race to lose at this point, especially with about 15 minutes left to go. Egon's still about 10 seconds ahead of G-Man. G-Man, though, he's not giving up. I mean, he's about 9.9 seconds back from Egon. And, I mean, he's slowly gaining on Egon, but I don't know if it's going to be enough here, especially with about 14 and a half minutes to go in the race. Igorski, 26 seconds ahead of Quad. Quad, meanwhile, 15 seconds ahead of Walk. Walk 27 seconds ahead of Marchie Boy is about to get lapped by Little Mac here. Let's make sure this move is clean. If Little Mac catches up to him, let's take a look here. Heading into the middle of the second sector. And blue flags are just waving all over the place, letting Walk know, hey, you've got the lead car right behind you. So let's let's not ride on board here, because I'm curious to see what's going to happen after coming out of the Schumacher S. Let's see, going to the outside there, looks like he is going to let Little Mac pass. Good on him. Marchie Boy running 7th, well ahead of Benjo, and well behind Walk, actually. Igorski having a little bit of issue there. Trying to pass, who was that? Benjo. So lap traffic. Now 13 minutes to go left in the race. Igorski's going to be hit with a half a second penalty. Probably because the cut through that corner there looked like maybe a little bit of an altercation between himself and Benjo. So that'll cost him some precious time there. And I know I say precious when he's about 15 seconds back from G-Man, but even with 12 and a half minutes to go, it is still anybody's race. Little Mac, though, 47-second gap. I mean, the dude's just on fire. Then Egon, G-Man. Gorski still has to serve that 0.4 second penalty. Is he going to serve it? Yep. It was served right before going into the chicane. A very smart move. Is currently on the fastest lap here. Not by much, but still, he's been setting some blistering fast laps. 156s, 157s on soft tires. It's a great time. Benjo is going into the pits here. Let's see what he's going to be doing. Looks like he's just going to be repairing some damage. Okay. Getting a little bit wide there, trying to avoid Benjo coming out of the pits. But nevertheless, 50-second gap. I mean, still doing a great job holding that first position for the majority of the race. puck has just now been served. A 1-second penalty. He's going to have to bleed that off before the end of the lap. We'll see where he bleeds that. Bleeds a little bit of the penalty there before going into the carousel and in the middle of it. And at the end is where he's going to be bleeding it. Alright. Good stuff. So, while we are just counting down here until the end of the race, since I don't see any kind of battles going on at the moment, I want to take a minute to thank our sponsor detailing group, specifically David Ball. He's done an awesome job sponsoring this series. You know, sponsoring by the trophies, the placards, has also given RWB and GT Champions a little bit of exposure in the public world. I know David was just over at SEMA, I believe, rocking the RWB shirt, getting recognized. Has also, I believe he's also been interviewed by Mav TV, which, if anybody doesn't know that is like a racing channel. Has anything from esports to dirt track racing, and just a whole bunch of other events and series. I believe Mav TV is also owned by Lucas Oil. So, huge thank you to Detailing Group. You guys are awesome. Dave, you're awesome. I do sincerely thank you. As being one of the former admins of RWB. Also, High Pre, like I said, they were the ones gracious enough to design all the banners, the slides, and everything. I mean, these just look great. The designs look great, the slides look great, the banners look amazing. Huge thank you to Pixteca and High Pre themselves. High Pre, awesome racing team to be with. So, just good stuff. And, you know, just want to give a huge thanks to all the other leagues that have come out and raced in GT Champion. Without anybody else besides RWB, GT Champions would not become what it is now. It started as the World Cup in the RWB group, then it expanded into the GT Champions, which the main guys on that is RWB Venom and our very own RWB Igorski, who is running fourth in this series. They are the masterminds behind this series itself, and it's produced some awesome racing from everyone. I have seen some battles that I have nearly jumped out of my chair screaming and hollering because they were just that good. So it's an honor to be commentating this race here, to help co-commentate, to commentate other divisions throughout GTC's lifetime. I hope to do many more, and once everything kind of chills out on my end, maybe I can race a little bit more. So, like I said, it's a great series to be on. If you want to join the community, we do have our Discord at the very bottom of the banner there, gtchampions.com. And we also have a Facebook page that, you know, you could give a like, keep up to date on your favorite drivers, see where they're at in the standings. And if you want to join GT Champions, go onto that Discord. I believe our next season will start right after Christmas. So it's going to give our drivers plenty of time to rest up, get all the practice in that they can, make it a better season than it was before. Good stuff, though. Good stuff. Right there is one of the masterminds, a GT champion. RWB Igorski, one of the OG members of the group, as well as Venom. And Quad's gonna get lapped by Little Mac. But I don't think Quad's gonna give up too easy. No, he's not. Might be a little mad there from the bit of rubbing and banging in the beginning of the race between himself and Little Mac. Let's take a look here, because I'm curious. I'm very curious to see how this is gonna pan out. So going through the Schumacher S, 4 minutes left. Let's just run up there, okay. Egon, G-Man, they are separated now by about 16 seconds. Now, I realize Quad may be a little bit upset with Little Mac, just in regards to how they were racing in the beginning. They did touch bumpers there. Quad almost got into the sand at the carousel, and I understand. Whoa, contact. But ultimately, it was Quad that had messed up going through the Schumacher S and hitting the barrier. So I don't know what Quad's issue is here at the moment. Let's keep an eye on this, because I'm a little bit on the worried side. Because Quad is not liking the fact that he's about to get lapped by Little Mac. And it's only 2.5 minutes left until the end of the race. So Little Mac might be backing off there. Doesn't want any kind of altercation. Especially with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. I mean, he's got like one more lap and he's done. And that's after he's finished with this lap. But what is Quad's deal? See, Little Mac looks like he's going to try and pass Quad. That way he's got all the air in the world. Quad, what's he gonna do? What is he doing? There is fighting. Quad getting into the sand. Little Mac has now reset. What? I'm not gonna say anything. No. Little Mac has one more lap to go. I don't know what happened there. Like I said, I think Quad's still upset. But I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it in the stream where Quad had hit the sand, no one was around, and hit that barrier. And I understand the bumping and rubbing, Quad did not go into the sand, did not go into the dirt. Stayed on the track, went a little bit wide. He could have kept it. Could have kept battling Little Mac. So we've got some poor sportsmanship here. Everybody's going to be finishing up. G-Man 3rd. Igorski's going to be at 4th. Marchy Boy 7th. Quad's going to be 5th. Walk 6th. Ghost 8th. Benjo 9th. But, oh my goodness. Quad going through the chicane. He's going to be finishing in 5th. Egon taking a very nice 2nd place. And then, ladies and gents, here's not only your winner of today's race, he is also your GTC-3 Season 2 champion, RWB Little Mac 26. What a way to go out. RWB Little Mac taking the checker, taking the win, taking the championship. Egon finishing very respectable 2nd place. G-Man in 3rd. Igorski 5th, and there is your finishing order. Little Mac winning round 10 at Nürburgring GP. And with that being said, let's take you guys over to the slide here. Little Mac, champion. Getting his first championship in the series. Well deserved. Well deserved, kind sir. So that's going to be it for us on this lovely Saturday evening or Sunday morning for the folks in Australia. And like I said, if you want to join us, join the Discord. Like us on Facebook. So until next time, people, stay safe, happy holidays, race hard and race clean.